I like reading the chat that you guys have had. You don't seem to understand. And you don't seem to understand. A shame you seemed an honest man. And all the fears you hold so deep. Can something whisper in your ear. And you know what to say, my hurt you. And you know what it means, what? And you don't need. I can't drum and sing at the same time. And you don't need to sing again. I am fall. I am fading. I am drowning. Help me to breathe. I am drowning. I am fall. I am drowning. Help me to breathe. That's like ass. Don't let me ever make music. Don't ever let me make music, okay? We're on zero budget. Hold on, my shit isn't working. Hold on, you gotta deal with me a little bit. Why isn't this shit working? Hello? 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 Moshi moshi? Monomone desu? Bros, hold on, I gotta restart my phone. Hold on. Hold on, I gotta... Ah! I mean, we're in the stream. The stream has started. We are here. We are talking. What is in the background? It's old commercials. If you look closely, it's all like old, like 80s commercials. Hold on. Dude, this shit was working literally when I pressed go live. Oh my gosh! Tomoe Carmine! Hold on, I'm having some issues. Welcome Raiders! Hi! My name is Monet. Monet. Here, let me play you a beautiful song off of the bottom of this empty Pringles can. My shit isn't working right now. Hold on. Wait, no. Oh, this side's even better. My name is Monet. I shouldn't do. No, that's gonna sound like shit. It's over. It's over. Why doesn't my tracking work? Commit to the bit. I'm not strong enough. There we go. Okay, now it works. Cool. Cool. Now we can start the stream. Okay, cool. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Can I get a drum roll? You like my sound effects with my empty Pringles can? The one, the only Monet! Woo! 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 Hi! My name is Monet V4Mirai, second generation pedalite. And groovy, funky, retro, cutie, Monet. Let's go! Oops. The echo was still turned on. Hee. Oh my god, don't start. Thank you, Saga. Let me take the echo off. Hi everybody, welcome readers, welcome Tabemonos, welcome everybody, welcome VOD Tabemonos, welcome live Tabemonos, welcome Tabemonos from the future. Welcome to my haters, welcome to everybody that loves me, welcome to my mother, welcome to my sister, welcome to senseis, I don't know. Can't come up with anything else. I'm on goofy behavior today. Everyone showed up. I'm on very goofy behavior today. Welcome everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing good. I'm gonna be honest, like for the last hour, I've just been sitting here like anxiously waiting to stream. I almost started stream an hour early. And I know some of you would have preferred that. But I figured I would stick to the time that I scheduled, right? But I was literally like sitting here like just like counting down the minutes. I was just like, I ate my food. right? I had my coffee and I was just looking at the clock. Like, is it 2 p.m. yet? 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 I was like, is it time yet? 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 And so that brings me to an admission of guilt. There is something I'd like to admit to you all, Tabemonos. It's a little shameful, but I have to tell you. I have to tell you. Let me bring it up on screen. So lately when my brain is like really, when I'm like really like singular brain cell behavior, you know the moods, right? Like when you really like, when you are really like monkey brained, singular brain cell behavior, when you just need to click a button, you know, and not think, right? There are moments like that, right? I've had a lot of them this week. But I Monet, yeah, basically cookie clicker, right? I Monet have to admit, I've been playing the hell out of those shitty ass YouTube games that they're like putting on the front page. Those like shitty like flash YouTube games. I saw they have like a fucking, like a knockoff like wannabe Dress to Impress. It's called Fashion Battle. They're so bad. They Dress to Impress, dude. I have been. The thing is, this game is like, it's like bordering on not even fun. One, because it's so fucking broken. It's so jank. This is like really seriously the equivalent of like a shitty flash game you find on some like, you know, like sketchy website, right? It's basically what it is. I've been playing this like just when I'm like sitting at my computer spacing out, right? Like when I just need something to click, right? Yeah, all the games are so freaking broken, right? It's not at all similar to Dress to Impress. It's literally just called Fashion Battle. But you get 3 options. Like you get a couple stages, you get 3 options, and you have to level up like your likes and like how many like jewels you get. But it's so broken. Like the 3D is so busted. Like sometimes you'll pick an outfit and the polygons are just like not even working, and you'll just have like a big triangle that takes up the entire screen that's like glitched out. Sometimes you'll click on something and the item you get is completely different. The outfits that you make are most of them are freaking awful, right? Because it's like you get predetermined choices, and it is like so easy to exploit this for points. Because like basically you win if you get like a best ranking, right? Show you one? No, it's fine. I'd rather not. It's so jank, cause like basically to go on to the next level, right? You have to get like likes and stuff. And so I figured out that if you let the timers run out on everything, you get more likes. Rather than like pressing submit, if you just let everything time out, you get way more likes, and so you can boost through the game like crazy. So I've just been going through this jank, like the levels are starting to repeat. Everything is so bad. It's so busted. But I had to admit it to you guys. Thank you, by the way, Saga. I had to admit it to you guys because, like, it's so freaking jank. It is such a bad game. It's such a bad game that I almost feel a little guilty playing this, you know. But it really let me talk a little bit about the past week, right? I guess. Yeah, it is literally like Flash game kusoge. So, if you've noticed, right, the last couple days for me have been like necessarily, or not necessarily, especially like brain empty, brain rot kind of days. And how I end up playing it. No, I don't stay up late playing it. It's just like when I was waiting for stream to start, I was like playing it. I think like one time when I was waiting for a meeting to start, right? The last week for me was insanely busy. I didn't really have any free time much at all. Right? The only time I had like free time to myself would be like after midnight. Right? Like after midnight is when I would basically allow myself to like, okay, like stop working. Like, you know, whatever you're working on, like after midnight, like, you know, you have like 2 to 3 hours to chill before bed, right? It's been like that, right? That's so real, right? Like, it has literally been that like everything I've done the last week has been like scheduled to like the minute, right? Everything has been freaking scheduled to the minute. God, like the last week has just been a blur, right? Yeah, it's been honestly grind maxing. I've been grinding really hard. I had a project. I think I've talked about it a little bit. I had a project that all the senseis have been like getting on my ass about because I was really behind on schedule, and I was getting really perfectionist about it. So it was taking me a really, really long time. Even V Sensei was like, "All right, Mono." She's like, "You either get it done, or I'm getting on call with you, and we're getting it done together." Like, you know, she's like, "It's getting done one way or another." And I was like, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am." You know? It's like, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Of course, ma'am. Yes, ma'am." So, I really had to bust. I really had to bust ass this week. And so I finally finished. My work on Sunday night. I think it was like Sunday 10 p.m. that I was able to turn in my work. And I kid you not, every single day up until then, I had been working on this every single day, before and after stream, while I was eating dinner, right? Like, I wasn't doing anything else really, right? Like, if I hung out, I was hanging out for a little bit, right? So it was like that, right? It really was kind of like a panic. I was starting to really feel the stress, you know? And it really was like all day long, right? Like, and I didn't do anything like super interesting through the week, just because like this thing was like hanging over my head. I was like, I have to get this done. I have to get this done. This has to get done. I have to get this done. And so no matter what I did, it was always in the back of my mind, right? And so I turned it in Sunday night, right? And usually Sunday, I try to like let Sunday be like my day to like relax, right? I try to give myself a little bit of time to like not think about anything like work related. But it was so hard all last week. And so this weekend, right, comes around and I'm like brain dead. I'm like brain dead. I was real iPad baby mode this entire weekend because I just needed to not think, right? Like, I needed to not think. I needed to just not do anything. Unfortunately, it was a shame, right? Because like Saturday, Sunday, right? Staff will sometimes kind of like... The truth is that, like, I don't think any of the senseis really take days off, right? Like, they're always there available for us. Like, and I am very grateful for that, right? There's always staff available for us, like, really, like, no matter what time of the day it is. Like, it could be like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and there's usually somebody there, right? I really do appreciate that. But so it was like Sunday, yeah, like Sunday usually like everybody's chilling, right? And yesterday, Mondays have kind of become my day off, right? I make my schedule and I chill a little bit. That's kind of like Monday is kind of my Sunday lately, right? And so I was so brain dead most of the day, right? Like, but yeah, Monday is the start of the work week, so I was relaxing and then kind of just like realized that like, oh wait, this isn't Sunday. It's the start of another work week once again, and there's projects and stuff to work on, so that's why I've been kind of seeking kind of like brain dead, like iPad baby kind of stuff this weekend. So for anybody that missed it, on Sunday we did the Tetsuo the Iron Man watch along. Thank you so much to everybody that came by. We had a pretty big turnout. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you guys like that movie. That movie is fucking crazy. If you don't know about Tetsuo the Iron Man, it's a Japanese, like, industrial body horror monster movie from 1989, right? It's very gory. It's very, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it was very horny, but like not in the way that you would think, right? Like, it was more like monster horny, you know? It was very, very interesting. I believe it might entirely be on YouTube. If not, it was on archive.org. You can watch it, right? But I really do recommend it. It was very cool. It's about a salaryman that becomes a monster made out of metal, right? Are we talking about RoboCop? No, we're talking about Tetsuo the Iron Man. It's an old movie. Our love can destroy this whole fucking world. So true. I do recommend it. I ended up like after I finished. So after we watched Tetsuo the Iron Man, it was back to my project, right? I had to finish it no matter what. So I finished my project, turned it in, and then after that, I ended up watching Blade Runner 2049. It was my very first time watching it. The classic movie with all the the classic movie with all the Ryan Gosling memes and stuff like that, you know, with the cells interlinked, like, right? Like, that movie gets memed on so much. I've never seen the original Blade Runner. I think I'm probably gonna do that, I don't know, probably this week. I think I might just put it on while I work or something like that, right? Interlinked. See, the thing is, like, it was nice because I finally got a lot of context for a lot of memes I've been seeing for years, right? Like, I'd been seeing the freaking cells interlinked thing forever, and I was always like, what the hell does this mean, right? What the hell does this mean? So I got to watch Blade Runner. I have to say it's very much eye candy. Pythorns. It's very much eye candy. I think so. I have to be honest, right? It was eye candy. I think a lot of the sound was cool. The set design was great, right? However, and I think this is probably because I haven't seen the first one, right? I thought that at some points the plot was a little hard to follow. And I'm pretty sure that's, you know, that would change if I had watched the first one, right? I thought the plot was a little hard to follow at times. Not exact, like, it wasn't super hard to follow, but like it felt a little confusing, right? Like, sometimes it was like, huh, what? Like who is this character? Who is this? Like, so ranking it on like a standalone movie right? I think that was one of its flaws, right? But I can't like fault it too much for that because there's so many movies where like you kind of need the context of the first one, right? My other complaint of the movie was that, and this might be something too that would probably be helped if I watched the first one. Some of the characters felt a little flat. And maybe that's just cause I'm a very like, I really like stories with like really like kind of like deep characters, right? I really like characters with a lot to them. I really like character heavy stuff, right? I thought some of the characters felt a little flat. A lot of stuff could have been like more kind of like explored on, right? Hi. Like some of the characters, like I kind of wanted to know more about them, but it felt like they were nothing more than just kind of like their visuals, you know? I think probably the most interesting character was like the I don't even remember her name. Yeah, it's a 3-hour movie, and it's crazy that a lot of stuff doesn't get explored on, right? I would have loved to get a little bit more in depth into Ryan Gosling's character. What was his name? Like Agent K or whatever. I would have liked to. I know it's kind of like. I know it's kind of like part of his character, right? That you don't know much. But I would have liked to learn a little more. I would have liked to learn a little bit more in depth about like the place that they all live in, right? Like the city. I thought like there's that one evil guy with like the blind eyes, you know, like the evil villain looking dude. But they don't really tell you anything about it, right? They don't really tell you anything about him, and it sucks because like it's a guy that Jared Leto plays, right? Like it sucks because I feel like he could have been a really interesting like villain, really interesting character, but like you only see him a couple times, right? Like you only see him a couple times, and I thought he was a cool character. His evil lair was freaking awesome. Like this very like minimalistic like. I don't know what to call it, like a weird like stone lair with like lighting and water and like light reflections and stuff like that. That was very cool, right? Like the whole movie had a lot of like eye candy. There was like the cinematography was great, the colors were great. I really spent a lot of time like just like looking at the movie and like saying to myself like, damn, that's a nice shot, damn, that's a nice shot, oh, that's a cool shot, damn, that's a nice shot, right? But like the setting was really good. I really wish a little more had been explored, you know? Like I wish I could have like seen a little bit more in depth to stuff, right? But in the end I enjoyed it. I liked it, but there was like a couple things where I'm like it was like basically 3 hours and I still wasn't 100% sure of like all the characters and when it happened, right? There's an anime where the world is explored more. Is there a Blade Runner anime? I did think the pacing was pretty good, right? It's not often that you watch a movie that long. It didn't feel like a 3-hour movie. It felt pretty short. Honestly, like the movie went by pretty quickly for me, and so I do like that, right? Like it was engaging, it was fun, the action was cool. There was a lot of times where I was like on the edge of my seat, like, oh yeah, this action scene's awesome, right? The characters were interesting. I just wish that like I could have learned a little bit more about him, right? But I think that's why I need to watch the first one, right? I gotta watch the first one. I think the movie relied a lot on the discourse and exploration of the first movie over the past few decades, so coming into it fresh is jarring overall. I think so too. I think so too. So I think a lot of my like complaints are kind of on me for not knowing the original, right? So I wanna see the original, and see how it goes. There was a couple times near the end of Blade Runner 2049 where like there were some things that like kind of started making it feel like a how do I describe it? As like a comic book movie? What movie are we talking about? Talking about Blade Runner 2049 right now. There's like a scene at near the end where fucking Agent K just like fucking Kool-Aid mans through a wall, and it is just the most like out of place, like goofy ass shit ever. Like that scene, don't get me wrong, right? Like it was funny, right? But like it was so it was so fucking random. Like it felt like such a, I don't know, like it felt like such a random thing, right? Because I mean, they'd been showing that this guy is a badass the entire time, but they had never shown him as like, you know, like a beast like that, right? Like just like fucking Kool-Aid mans through a wall. It was a little too much. It was a little too much. It's kind of out of place. Yeah. There's several versions of the original. Yeah, I heard that there's like fucking 5 versions of the original or something like that. So I'll definitely check it out. Right? I'll definitely watch it. So that was pretty fun, right? Finally feel like I watched like a movie that a lot of people talk about. It was fun to watch. As always with sci-fi movies like that, my favorite part is like the technology in the world, right? I really liked the what's her name? Like the Joy, J-O-I. Like the holograph girlfriend, right? The cyber waifu, yeah. Yeah, the cyber waifu, yeah. Yeah, the Joy. I love my Joy girlfriend. I really liked that machine in Agent K's house where, like, you know, it just kind of like moves. Like it has like an arm that like moves up and down the room to show like the projection of the girl, right? I liked the way that they would make sure they would like act out like the girl acting out the Joy girl, right? I like the way that like they would make sure to act it out where like she wasn't, like for example, if she put her arms around Agent K, right? That they were kind of like hovering over him. That they, you know, they weren't actually like touching physically, right? Yeah, the interactions are really good. Yeah. I thought she could have been a slightly more interesting character. But that's kind of how I feel in regards to like most of the characters, right? Like I wish there had been a little bit more. Right? Just like a little bit more. You know, just a little bit more substance to these characters, right? But yeah, overall, it was a good movie. It was a good movie. I kind of, sorry if it sounds like I'm like going off. I kind of like analyzing movies like this, right? Like it's fun. It's fun to just kind of like think about art in this way, right? So it's fun. I had to do a lot of like movie analysis in school. I remember when I was in college, I took like some movie analysis classes and stuff like that, like cinema classes. So it's very fun. It's very fun, right? if I had to like rank it, it's like it just had a little more sense of to that game you're playing. They're completely different things. They are completely different things. Okay? Okay, they're completely different things. But if I had to give it a ranking, Blade Runner 2049, like a 7, 8. I can't give it too low of a ranking because it wasn't a bad movie, right? It wasn't a bad movie. I enjoyed it. I liked watching it, right? I had a good time watching it. But it wasn't like it didn't like blow my socks off, you know? I kind of wish it would have taken like a little bit, like, yeah, it's like somewhere around like 7, 8, right? Like right around there. I think my ranking might change once I watch the original movie, right? Now, how does it compare to Parkour Civilization? Shut up! Shut up! It wasn't Tetsuo the Iron Man. I can't, you guys, you can't compare these two movies. You can't, like, you can't just compare something like Tetsuo and Blade Runner. They're completely different movies. You know, you can't really put them on the same rankings. They're completely different movies, right? Like the kind of appeal, right? It's completely different. Completely different, right? You can't rank them on the same standards, right? You have to rank these movies individually, right? You have to just kind of like appreciate everything for what it is individually. So yeah, I watched it was crazy that I watched 2 movies in one day. And then the next day, right? Oh my god, I get it! You guys want to talk about Parkour Civilization? I fucking get it! I get it, okay? I get it! You guys are obsessed! Oh my god! I get it! You guys are so fucking obsessed! Oh my god. So I'm sure... Okay, alright, let's talk about Parkour Civilization. I'm sure if you have been on the internet at all this week, you have been seeing stuff about would you jump for the chicken or the beef, right? It is the meme of the week right now, right? It's the meme of the week right now. Parkour Civilization is a series of YouTube, Minecraft YouTube videos, where it's a very, I don't know anything about Minecraft streamers. I guess it's a very famous Minecraft YouTuber, and he makes this video of like Minecraft, but I live in Parkour Civilization, right? And everything is just like jumps. I had been seeing it everywhere, and then eventually I heard that it's like a full-on movie, right? It's like a full-on movie. It's literally just Minecraft gameplay. It's a full-on movie, and so I thought, you know what? Like, I can't think about anything right now. I need like slop. I need like brain rot, you know? I was wondering where you even saw this. It's been all over Twitter. It's been all over Twitter. I don't know if you guys... we must have different Twitter timelines, because like, it's been all over my Twitter. All over. So... I'll kick your guys' asses. I had to mute it. I don't blame you. So I decided, you know, I was pretty bored yesterday. I was pretty bored, and I just couldn't think about, like, I just needed like brain rot. I just needed something that didn't take much thinking, right? I wasn't really in like the state to listen to music, right? And I just kind of wanted something like, I don't know, I just wanted some background noise, right? Um, and so that's when I decided, all right, we're gonna watch Parkour Civilization, right? In the side tube. So I put it on, and then I grabbed my iPad. I went to go sit down on my couch, and I was just drawing while I was listening to it in the background, right? So basically, Parkour Civilization is it's these videos of about this character that starts out basically at the bottom of society, at the bottom of parkour society, right? And basically everything. You get your food through parkour, you get your house through parkour, everything is through parkour. You pay in parkour, right? Like you go to parkour jail, right? There's a parkour god. Like everything is parkour. It's really stupid. It's really fucking stupid. And to make it worse, right? The entire movie, it's 2 hours. It's 2 hours for the first part. The entire thing is it's insanely brain rot. The entire thing is like narrated in like this super like mega zoomer voice, right? Like Minecraft YouTuber zoomer voice, right? Which I'm not gonna lie, like by the end of the second movie, I was so fucking ready to turn it off. I was like, I can't fucking handle this anymore. By the end of it, I was like, I can't handle this shit anymore. That, and then I swear to God, every 30 goddamn seconds, there was a vine boom. Everything was a fucking vine boom, and it was too much. It was way too fucking much, dude. I just blanked it out after a while. It was too much. It was way too much. Yeah, every 30 seconds is a little estimate. Yeah. It was more like every 10 seconds, right? Like, I felt really old watching it. Me too, dude. Me too. Me too. I do have to give it credit, though. Okay? I do have to give it credit. The plot goes fucking crazy. Right? It is insane how much the plot evolves and elevates. There's characters, there's like societal structure. It's like, to me, okay, so here's something that I kind of want to talk about in regards to this, right? You may be like, Mono, if you thought it was so obnoxious, why'd you watch it? There is nothing that fascinates me more than like projects like this that people make that have ridiculous amounts of effort put into them, right? There is just something about this kind of project, right? It's the same kind of reason why ultimately I respect Skibidi Toilet, even though I don't actually care about it that much, right? Like, you know, for the shits and giggles, I'll be like, haha, yeah, Skibidi Toilet, right? Like, but it's not like the content itself that I'm crazy about, right? Like, yeah, okay, you know, like, yeah, Parkour Civilization, it's funny, right? Like, the joke does get old after a little bit, right? But for me, it's like the insane, like, fervent passion behind it. It's the fact that somebody made two-hour movies with plot and characters and like direction and everything in Minecraft, right? It's the fact that, like, it's that, you know, like, it is insane. To me, it's the effort. It's like the work, and that's why I like watching these things, right? Even though they're kind of dumb. But it's like the fact that, like, yeah, it's an insane amount of effort, and I always I always love stuff like that. Maybe I'm cynical, but I look at it and think jobless. I mean, yeah, probably. Although the guy that made Parkour Civilization has like millions and millions of YouTube subscribers. So, I mean, that dude's making more money than all of us combined in here, probably. So, I don't know about jobless, right? But it's like the passion. You know, it's like the passion. It's the insane effort to apply to something that's like really just like a game, you know, like a little video game. It's just like it's like when you play. It reminded me of like when you play toys as a kid and you come up with these like insane, intricate backstories for your toys and stuff like that. I think I was spoiled by old school machinima like Red and Blue. I mean, yeah, that stuff like that stuff was incredible. But it does kind of make me happy, right? That the kids are kind of like bringing that stuff back a little bit, right? Yeah, I'm a boomer, you know. Yeah, I'll be kind of like, you know, grumpy about this kind of stuff, right? But you know, it's kind of cool to see people putting in passion into this kind of thing, you know? I don't know how to properly explain it, but I'm just fascinated. I am freaking fascinated by the effort, the time, the passion put into these things, right? And that makes it worth it for me. That makes it worth like watching, right? Like I think it's very cool, right? And it's really hard to put this into words. I don't know. And the Sprite comic era in the early Newgrounds series, yeah. It's just like it's a really insane creative project. And to me, that's what makes it really interesting, right? Although I'm not gonna lie, the Parkour Civilization story, it went a lot crazier than I thought. Should you watch Parkour Civilization? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, if you're in a similar situation to me, right, and you just need something like brainless to put on in the background, right? One, I'm pretty sure you probably have something better to watch. But two, fucking go for it. You know, go for it. Yeah, get some friends, right? Like, watch it. Drinking game, take a shot every time there's a vine boom. Yeah, if you want to understand the memes, honestly, like the first 10 minutes, that's all you need, right? I ended up watching both movies. 4 hours of Parkour Civilization. I'm not gonna lie, like by the time the second movie came around, I kind of stopped caring. Like, I kind of put it on and I was just zoning out. I was just like drawing, barely kind of listening. I was like listening to a little bit. The time the second movie came around, I was kind of out of it. You know? It was still interesting. There were still some fucking crazy things, right? Someone in chat said the second movie felt like a victory lap. Yeah, kinda. So, should you watch the second movie? Nah, it's fine. But yeah, I watched that, and that was pretty interesting. I do have to say, I do enjoy, like, I enjoy knowing what the current meme is about. Does that make sense? Like, do you ever like go through like your social media or whatever, and then like everybody's in on the joke except for you? I kinda. That's why I wanted to watch it. I was like, I need to know what the hell this is. Like, what is so funny about it? You know? I get it now. I get it now. Yeah, Mimi brought it up in the collab, and I was like, huh, what? Like, I kept seeing the freaking chicken or beef thing. And like I was like, okay, this is kind of funny. I don't really get it, right? Like I don't really get it. But to basically explain the chicken or beef thing, right? It's like if you your like your everyday situation as a parkour civilization is you either jump for the chicken, which is one block ahead of you. It's an easy jump, right? It's like a low risk jump. You jump for the raw chicken and you get enough nutrition bars or whatever in Minecraft to last you until the next day. Basically, the implication is that if you jump for the raw chicken every time, you're never really gonna advance. You're just gonna kind of like repeat the day, like every day, right? If you jump for you just survive the day to day and that's it. If you jump for the beef is a 2-block jump, right? Like 2-block like vertical jump. If you jump for the beef, right, you get more energy. It's a harder jump. It's a higher risk. You have the risk of dying, right? And if you jump for the beef, if you get the beef, you get a lot more energy, and that allows you to go farther in society and allows you to do more, right? So that's basically the whole thing, right? Like it's stupid deep for what it is. It's so dumb. But that's what the joke. That's basically what the joke is, right? Like, you know, and the whole thing is like, here in Parkour Civilization, no one chooses to jump for the beef, right? It's that kind of shit. It's that kind of shit, right? Yeah, so that's basically what it's about. That's basically what the whole thing is about. Hola. It's an above average young action novel or young adult novel, but done in Minecraft. Yeah, basically. Right. But I am here to watch this so that you don't have to. However, it was nice having something on, right? I put it on. I just like put it on the speakers. I walked off to my couch and I was just drawing and chilling, right? So it was a chill, like brain rot way to spend the evening. Sometimes you just kind of need like iPad baby. Like, you just kind of need like an iPad baby moment, you know? That was my iPad baby moment. That was absolutely my iPad baby moment, because like I said, like I was so, I guess burnt out is the word. I was so burnt out on Sunday. Like Sunday night, I was so freaking burnt out that it was a very welcome, like it's like a welcome, refreshing thing to do. Was to just not think, right? Just consume something really dumb. So that was my week. That was my week, and that was my weekend. Now I'm very happy to be hanging out with you guys, right? But to me, what is the funniest thing is that like I think before I put on like Parkour Civilization, like everybody was like, ew, no, I don't want to watch it. What the fuck? What is that? And then like by the end of it, like all of you guys were losing your fucking minds. So by the end of it, you were all fucking losing your minds. So yeah, funny how that happened. Anyway, what's another thing I wanted to bring up? It's actually because of that same, like, the fact that I was just so, like, burnt out and, like, just, like, brain dead yesterday. That is the reason there is no schedule yet. I'm gonna be real, I just didn't want to think about anything work-related yesterday. I was just like, I do not want to open Photoshop. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to work on any projects. I don't want to check the staff Discord. I was like, I just want to brain rot, you know? I just want to girl rot on the couch. I just want to chill, you know? I just want to chill. I just need a girl rot day. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to make a schedule, but that's kind of part of why I wanted to do a Satsu today. Other than just the fact that I was feeling kind of chatty, right? I wanted to have a Satsu today because I don't know what to play now. I finished Eco, right? I think I'll probably play Civ 4 sometime this week, and like, it's like my Civ 4 run is basically done, right? It's basically done. I'm gonna be real. I've gotten almost all the enjoyment I've gotten out of like my Civ 4 run right now. Like, if I play more Civ, I think I'll probably play like another Civ, and then like play like a more standard game. Yeah. Yeah, I've kind of gotten my enjoyment out of like my current run in Civ 4, right? Like, now that I understand the game, now I'm like, all right, I'm just pressing buttons, right? This is too easy. This is way too easy. But we finished Eco. What were my notes for the... Maybe some Halloween games? Yeah, I was thinking that. So, we're having a Satsu today, right? Tomorrow, there will probably be no stream because I have a bunch of meetings tomorrow. Thursday? I'd like to stream something like early in the day on Thursday, but I don't know what. That's the thing, I'm struggling to think of what games I want to play. 3D VR chat horror. That might be fun. That might be fun. I don't know if the new Spookality worlds are out yet. Otherwise, I would play that. Right? Spookality is like a game jam event they do in VR chat every Halloween. Let's see. Spookality 2024. Are the worlds up yet? Oh no, it's gonna be a little later. So, nah, if I do, I think VR chat horror, I'm gonna do... Well, I guess I could do it this week. If we do it next week, we can play through the winners of Spookality. And that might be fun. Oh my gosh, hi Daya. Hi Daya! This girl's gonna be radioactive soon. We're all gonna be scared together. I'll put my heart rate monitor up on screen. Did I get type Lumina? Yeah, I gotta play that with Yae. We haven't scheduled anything, so I don't know if it'll happen this year. Not this year, this week. I don't know if it'll happen this year. I don't know if it'll happen this week. This week. Sorry. Maybe Outer Wilds. I do want to start Wilds. I do want to start Outer Wilds. Oh, did I disconnect? What happened? Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Am I okay? Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, cool. Thank you, sorry. 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 What else was I gonna say? Alright, let me make sure my stuff is running okay. Okay, yeah, we're good. Is it time for me to start my Outer Wilds playthrough? Is it time? Is it time for me to start Outer Wilds? You guys think it's time? I guess I could start Outer Wilds on Thursday. Those of you that have watched it or played it, how long is it? How long of a game is it? Like, if you could put like an hour number on it, like how long do you think it is? I'm sorry. It varies. Interesting. I'm gonna be real, right? I don't know anything about Outer Wilds. And that is on purpose. Everybody I know has like said that it's best to go in blind, right? It's the best way to go in blind. All I know is that it's about space. All I know is it's about space and that it's got a really good ending. Anything else, I don't know about it. I don't know anything about it. I don't know how it plays. I've never seen screenshots of it. On purpose. I've been avoiding everything about it on purpose, right? So it was frustrating for you to play. I wonder. You did it in 30 minutes accidentally. Huh. Interesting. Well, I will consider that. But I wonder what else. I'd like to keep playing more horror games. Maybe I should do a stream where I sit you down and I tie you up in a chair, right? And I like open your eyes with little machines like Clockwork Orange style, right? And I like sit you down in front of a bunch of screens, and on every single screen I have a different chill as art game. You know, I've never played any of those games. I've never played a chill as art game. I've never played a single one. I've played Little Nightmares. Have you ever heard of Haunting Ground, Demento Momo? Not sure. Oh, there's a game I've always been meaning to play. Let me check Steam. Hold on. Recent PS4 horror game, Silent Hill, Fatal Frame, Resident Evil. So I'm playing Resident Evil 4 on Friday with Mimi. The only thing about most of those PS2 games is that they're very expensive. They're very hard to get. Silent Hill, I might be able to get my hands on Silent Hill 1. Probably not in time for Thursday. Probably not in time for this week. I've played Silent Hill 2, but I don't think I'd be able to get my hands on that. It's a very expensive game. I've played Fatal Frame 2. I don't know if I've ever played Fatal Frame 1. That might be fun. But there is a game called Lost in Vivo. I've always wanted to try. It was recommended to me a long time ago by I've played the original Silent Hill 2. I was recommended Lost in Vivo by a VTuber named Alice Sawyer. She is a all she does is horror games. Like, all she does is horror content. She's a horror VTuber, right? And one time I asked her, I was like, what's the scariest game you've ever played? And she was like, Lost in Vivo. That sounds kind of interesting, right? Alias is very, very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. It's a horror game about claustrophobia, apparently. And it looks pretty sick. Here, I'll link you guys the Steam page so you can kind of look at it and see what you think. So that might be kind of fun, right? The plot says a horror game about claustrophobia. During a storm, your service dog is forced down a broken sewer drain. You find a nearest sewer entrance and run in after it. Oh. So that might be fun. Indie games tend to be a little shorter. So I think that would work out. It seems like... Seems like you can probably finish Lost in Vivo in about 5 hours or less. Right? Ever heard of a PS1 game called Paranoia Escape? Maybe? The thing is, like, I need to figure out, like, what we're streaming. If it's gonna be something that I have to buy physically, it's usually gonna take about a week or two to get here, right? So I gotta plan out some other stuff first too. So this week there's gonna be today was this. Tomorrow probably no stream. Thursday, maybe Thursday I'll play Lost in Vivo early in the day. And then Friday will be Resident Evil 4 with Mimi again. And then Saturday there is a V4Mirai collab. And then Sunday, I don't know what I'm gonna do. There's a chance I might not do a stream on Sunday because my sister, every Halloween she has a little like pumpkin carving party. And she does like a brunch thing. She'll invite a bunch of her friends and people will like bake and cook things. We'll have like a really nice big brunch. And then we'll listen to music in her backyard and carve pumpkins, right? That's this Sunday. So, hi. So, she said that would be like brunch. So like I'd probably be over there already like pretty early in the day. So if I do anything Sunday, it would be late night. Which does sound kind of fun anyway. But we'll have to see. It's kind of like why I'm like struggling to make a schedule this week. Because a lot of stuff is kind of up in the air. Right? Yeah, have you decided on your schedule this week yet? Since you're here. Have you decided on your schedule this week yet? I wonder. Schedule ... mood, right? It's a game and then the time. I have a collab Sunday, that's all I know. We have a... Maybe Thursday, Yae and I can play Melty Blood. What do you think about that, Yae? You wanna do it? You wanna do it? It would be the jankiest Melty Blood collab ever. We're gonna play on like pad and keyboard. Well, I guess we can. Yeah, I'll talk to you about it on Discord then. We'll plan it out. We'll plan it out. We'll plan out a time. Well, I guess that's what's gonna happen on Thursday then. Thursday we'll play Melty Blood with Yae. Old or new Melty? We're gonna play new Melty. New Melty first. Pad and keyboard in the girls' bathroom is God intended. Yeah, so we'll play that. I guess that just leaves. What am I gonna do Sunday? Yeah. So I'll try and get that schedule out tonight. Cause I know a lot of you really appreciate the graphic schedule. I'll try and get that out tonight. I tried yesterday, but it wasn't happening. It was not happening last night. It was not happening. It was like I finished drawing at like midnight, and then I didn't want to look at a screen anymore. I was so done. I was like, I do not. The last thing I want to do right now is open Photoshop. So forgive me. So I guess it's gonna be our week. Yeah. As always, I'll ping you all on the Discord and I'll post it on Twitter. Once it's all done. Yeah, that's right. One would say, I am sad to learn. I might be wrong, but I am sad to learn that my favorite character isn't in Melty Blood, though. I don't think she's in Melty Blood. Len? Yeah. They added alcohol? Oh my gosh. I still have a lot of the old Melty Blood sounds like embedded in my head. Yeah, it strikes me as a grappler main. Interesting. Do they still have Nanaya with the banana color palette? That was always one of my favorites, the banana, yeah. They don't have him! Fucking shame. Can't have shit anymore, dude. We can't have shit, dude. Which Melty Blood would we be playing? I think we would be playing Type Lumina. It's wild because I don't think I've played a... Hello? Hi? Hello? Hello? Hi? Can you see me? My stream keeps disconnecting. Hello? Am I back? Am I back? Okay. Am I back? Okay. I was gonna say, I don't think I've played a Melty Blood since like Actress Again. Like, the Melty Bloods I remember the most are like the old ones, fucking like Act Cadenza, Actress Again. It's been a long time. It's been a really long time. Very, very, very long time. And I've heard that the new Melties are very different. I've heard they're very good. I've heard they're very different. Yeah, I've heard they play very differently. But as long as it still has air dashes, that was always one of my favorite parts of Melty Blood. Oh yeah. Cool. Well, I guess that's the scheduled week. Thanks for helping me figure that out. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. There's another thing I wanted to talk about a little bit. I got a Mashu that I thought was better answered on stream. Where is it? Hold on. Multi-mention, time for me to boot up the MV. Yeah. Thank you so much for the super chat. So here's a Mashu I wanted to answer on stream. So I thought I would make an interesting conversation about some stuff, right? So forgive me if it's like a slightly more serious topic. It's not super serious, but it says, "Hi Mono. Lately, I wanted to try making something for you art-wise, but I feel like my drive has been gone for a while. Because I feel like what I would try making would be lost in the sea of all the attention we give you. Not trying to get special attention, I just feel like that's happened with anyone I've tried making stuff for in the past. That, and I want to do something that is unique to me and not just copying someone else's ideas. But I don't know what I should try." Right? I thought this was a very interesting marshmallow, right? Of course, the first, like, the first, like, reaction to this, right, that I want to say is like, oh, of course, like, don't feel that way, right? Everything you make is lovely. But there's something else I want to say about this, actually. And this is gonna be a little bit of a rant. So, sit down, get comfy, get your snacks, right? I think I'm a very big believer of... I think you should be making... When you make the art, like when you make art like this, right? I don't think you should be kind of like making it for the sake of like of me. You know what I mean? That sounds kind of weird, and it's hard to pick the right words for this, because I mean, I've made plenty of fan art before too, right? Like, it feels very nice, right? Like, you make fan art for someone, they see it, they love it, they enjoy it, right? It's a really wonderful feeling, and I totally get that, right? If you tag something, if you put it in places where I can see it, it's not gonna get lost, right? It's not gonna get lost. I am gonna see it. I am gonna love it. I love every single piece of art that you guys make. It doesn't matter your skill level. It doesn't matter your medium. It doesn't matter what you make, right? Some type of ones have made music. Some have made poems. Right? I've gotten some very lovely poems in my mashu. Some have made art. Some have made videos. Some have just made meme edits. It doesn't matter. It doesn't get lost, right? As long as you put it in front of me, right? It doesn't get lost. I'm gonna be completely honest. If you just put it on the Discord, right? There is a slight chance it could get lost, because I'm not like, as much as I am on the V4Mirai Discord, I'm not on there all the time, right? So if you're worried about it getting lost, like, you probably should post it somewhere, right? Or like send me a marshmallow about it or something like that. But what I really brought this mashu up on stream for is that it kind of struck a chord with me as an artist, right? And something that I've kind of like had in my mind for a really long time as an artist. And that is the fact that I don't know exactly how to word my feelings on this, but the simplest way to put it is that you should be making the art for yourself. And you should be making it for validation from yourself. And everything else second, right? I've seen a lot of artists fall into this, and I say it because I have to. I'm no better, Like, it's not like I've gone through this too, right? Like, you will enjoy art a whole lot more if you can make it for yourself, right? And that's part of why I encourage you guys to, like, review validation if it's from other sources than yourself. That's not exactly what I mean, right? It's kind of along the lines. It's not exactly the same, but the way I can explain it, right, is like, it's kind of along the same lines of like, you probably shouldn't be making stuff just for like the reaction. I'm not gonna act, like high and mighty and be like, oh, the likes and everybody else's reactions don't matter. It's art, like at the end of the day, let's be real. Like, it's art. I think all of us that make art, we do make it to an extent so that it can be enjoyed by others. You know, and that's fine. That's normal. That's part of art, right? Like, to make art is to make something that can be shared and be enjoyed by others, right? That's the whole purpose of art. However, I think there reaches a point where you have to make sure that like the core motivator, right, is that you are... It's like making it for yourself, right? Draw a Monet because you want to, and because you will enjoy it, and not just because I may see it, right? It's a hard thing to ask to be like, oh, just the joy of making it, right? Art's not always that simple, right? It's not always that simple. This is why it's really like, this is a really hard thing to explain, right? Because I know art isn't as simple. It's just like, oh, you know, just make it for yourself. It doesn't matter. It matters a little bit, right? Like, it does matter a little bit. That's the reality of it, right? It feels good to, you know, to have your stuff be validated by other people. It feels good to get likes, right? It feels good to get attention for your art. But I think that is, if you feel like your drive has like been gone for a while, I think it's because you may be like kind of like prioritizing like those, like you might be prioritizing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? It's kind of, I feel like it's really easy to have your drive taken away like that when you value more like what comes from the art rather than what comes from making it. Does that make sense? This is so hard to explain. I still don't feel like I'm explaining myself properly. But I hope you kind of can understand, right? I say this because I've seen a lot of artists burn out over this thing. Like, over this, right? Throughout the years, I've seen a lot of artists like really like go through what I can only really call is like they feel like their stuff isn't worthy because it's not getting numbers or because it's not getting the attention that they want. And I've seen way too many artists that will just delete everything. Like, out of that frustration, they'll just delete everything. They'll stop drawing completely. They'll just completely stop drawing. It just becomes a chore because they start drawing to get like that reaction, to get like those numbers, right? And I'm not gonna say, you know, like it's valid. It's also valid to make art to make money, right? It's very valid, right? If you want to be, you know, somebody that just kind of like draws the current popular thing, right? For the numbers to build up your success, that's also valid, right? Like, yeah, you gotta eat, you gotta get that bag. It's valid. It's valid, right? But it's something I think that at this, like, the putting your worth in the numbers, whether that may be literally or figuratively, right? It really eats away at you. Really, really, really eats away at you. And that applies not only to like artists, but I think to like anybody doing anything creative, right? It's why in like streamer and VTuber world, a lot of us don't look at our viewer counts. A lot of us try not to think about the numbers at all. I do not even look at my analytics half of the time, right? Because I do not want to see it. I do not want to see it. Because it kind of creeps into your brain a little bit. It starts affecting your content, right? there used to be, you know, many years ago, days where I'd be like streaming, and I would keep the... I would use Streamlabs OBS, right? And Streamlabs OBS has a thing where it has the viewer count in the corner of the software, right? And you can hide it, but at the time I was like hooked on seeing the number, right? And I would legit in real time change the way I was acting on stream based on how the number was doing, right? And it was... I was kind of a puppet to the numbers, right? I became kind of a puppet to it. It happens to people, you know? Like, I know it's not just me. It happens to everyone. It's a... You will hear countless other content creators talk about this stuff. Because it's just a part of being human, right? It's a natural part of being human. We like especially like as a creative or like just anybody that makes anything, right? Just really, it's at the end of the day, it's not even like a creative thing, just like anybody, right? Like we all get validation from stuff like that. And it's normal, it's natural, right? It's a human thing. It's a very human thing. But I think it becomes really harmful when like you place your entire worth on that, right? And it's not like... I don't think anybody is immune to it. I'm not immune to it, right? I am sure even within the last couple months, you guys have heard me being like, oh, boo-hoo, woe is me, you know, like, I'm the lowest described in V4Mirai, right? Like, I have my moments too, right? I think everybody does. It's just a part of being a... it's just a part of being a content creator. It's part of being somebody that makes stuff, right? It is very, very easy to fall into that. Here's the Machu link, by the way. Very, very easy to fall into that. To fall into that, like, oh, you know, like, my worth is tied to these numbers, right? Like, if my numbers aren't this, then it means I'm not good, right? It's so easy to fall into that. And it's very, very easy to fall into that as an artist, too, right? You'll put in months and months of work, or like weeks, hours. You'll put in your whole soul into a drawing, right? And you'll get like, I don't know, 5, 10, 20, 30 likes, right? And then you see another artist on Twitter that like, you know, like posts a 10-minute doodle and it has several thousand likes, right? It can be very demoralizing. And that kind of stuff, like that kind of stuff, like when you place the worth of it on those numbers and that reaction and stuff like that, it really like sucks the fun out of it. It really, really sucks the fun out of it. And I think that makes a lot of people lose their drive. It makes a lot of people burnt out. It makes a lot of people lose motivation, right? One part is always the artist gets bothered because that 10-minute doodle gets more play than the work they actually put their effort into. That's what I mean. Like, no matter what side of the coin you're on, right? Like, it's never good, right? Because if you're on the side, if you are the artist with, you know, bajillion likes over a 10-minute drawing, then it becomes a case of like, well, why did this thing that I spent 10 minutes on, you know, get all these numbers, but this painting that I worked on for such a long time and put all of my heart into didn't get this much, right? No matter what side of the coin you're on, it fucks with you, right? It messes with you. So I think it's at that point that it becomes really important to make sure that you have a different motivator for making your art, right? And it's hard to talk about this when it's like how do I say it? Like, it's hard to mention it when like the topic here is fan art of me, right? Of course I'll love anything you make, right? I'm always completely just amazed by all the creativity, all the love you guys put into everything, right? But as an artist, as a fellow artist, what I want the most for you is to be able to enjoy the process, right? And that's part of why I've talked about before that like I don't really have any like limits or rules on what you draw, right? Like if I may, let me be your muse, right? Whatever situation, whatever outfit, whatever scene, right? You want to draw Monet in, right? Let me be your muse, because at the end of the day, right? So yeah, at the end of the day, what I want is for you to enjoy the process and to enjoy drawing and to enjoy doing it, right? You can draw me touching the elephant's foot if you want, you know, like whatever you want. Whatever you want. Even if it's something that upsets me, right? What matters for me is that you are enjoying it and that you had fun making it, that you were able to be creative. For me, that's the thing that matters the most, right? I made a doujinshi of you, would you dub the thing? I don't think I'm allowed. Sorry. I think to the tabemono that sent this mashu, right? I think this is a time where you kind of like you gotta. I really don't want to say you gotta take a jump for it because I know all of you dumbasses in the chat, all of you tabemonos, are gonna make a fucking Parkour Civilization joke. I know you're all gonna make a fucking you gotta jump for the beat. See, look at them, look at them, look at them. You guys are so fucking predictable. Look at them. But you know what I mean, right? Like you gotta take the leap. You gotta just kind of go for it, right? You gotta kind of just go for it. You kind of hold on. Sorry if I'm taking a lot of pauses. I'm just like trying to think of the proper ways to like phrase my thoughts because these are. I'm not very good with words to begin with, right? And I want to be able to say my thoughts about it thoroughly, right? You just kind of have to try. You know, you have to try, but as you're trying, you kind of just have to put yourself first, right? Because that in its own, putting your own joy and your own enjoyment and your own creativity first, will make the art better. It'll make it better technically, it'll make it better visually, it'll make it better in every way, right? And it'll feel better, right? It'll feel better. And if you feel constantly like anytime you make something for someone, it gets lost in the sea of everything else, right? It's one of those things where, how do I explain it? Like there's a saying I like, where it goes like, if you feel like everything is coming at you straight ahead, then you may be driving on the wrong lane. Right? It's a saying I like to keep in mind a lot. Not just for art, but for like all sorts of things in life, right? When it feels like everything is like coming right at you, and like everything's like, you know, coming at you and attacking you, like you may be driving in the wrong lane, right? So it's one of those things where you kind of have to think like, well, if it feels this way, maybe I have to restructure my perspective a little bit, right? The art is coming out of your hands and your mind. Yeah. So I think you kind of have to have to first of all prioritize your enjoyment, your fun. You gotta remember that making art should be yours. I wanted to say making art should be fun. Making art isn't always fun. And that's not a bad thing, right? Sometimes some incredible art comes out of being really sad or being really angry or feeling a specific way, right? Like it doesn't have to be fun. That's kind of the beauty of it, right? But yeah, sometimes art is fun, sometimes art is suffering, right? It's part of it. It's part of it, right? But if you and this is part of my own journey as an artist, right? When you are able to kind of prioritize that, your art does kind of come out better. Like your art comes out better. Like it may not be better visually, but like here's the thing. I'm a big believer that art doesn't have to be like, you don't have to be a master at anatomy. You don't have to be a master at color theory. You don't have to be incredible at whatever tool you're using to make it art, right? It's kind of like it's the soul, right? And it's hard to explain how you can tell something has soul. It just does. It just kind of does, right? You just kind of have to put yourself into it, like no matter what part of yourself that may be. And as far as like wanting to do something that's unique to you and not just copying someone else's ideas, the reality is that that's just something you have to practice. It's something you just kind of have to work towards, right? And you're gonna make a lot of art that's gonna feel kind of like other people's art at first. But you kind of have to think of it as like, what's the best way I can describe it? Like, think of like a colored pencil. And in the same, like in the pencil, it's like layers of colors, right? Like think of it like as like it's like a rainbow pencil, right? In the lead, it's like stripes of colors, right? And so you have to get through one color to get to the next one, and then you have to get through that color to get to the next one, right? It's just a lot of this stuff is kind of just a matter of practice. You're not gonna find your unique points in your originality without making something to begin with, right? And the reality is that sometimes you kind of have to mess up to figure out what to do right? You have to sometimes the way to grow and the way to level up is you have to find what doesn't work or what you don't like, right? You basically just have to do the thing. You just kind of have to do it. You just kind of have to get it out of the way, right? It's not necessarily about allowing yourself to suck, I think. It's just more of like, I think it's nice to remember that like from everything and even the mistakes that you make, right? Like the mistakes that you make, you're gonna learn something from it. The successes that you make, you're gonna learn something from it. Basically, no matter what, you're gonna learn something from it. So you might as well just go for it, you know? Like you might as well just do it. There's always gonna be another drawing. If you make music, there's always gonna be another song, right? If you write, you're always gonna write another thing, right? There's always gonna be the next thing, right? It's very unlikely that whatever you're working on is gonna be like your final piece, right? Ever, right? There's always gonna be something else, and so you'll always have that room to grow. If you make something and it doesn't feel very unique, well, you know, like there's always next time. You can always try again next time. If you want actual like technical advice on how to make something unique to you, My technical advice, like my actual like technical advice is find references of stuff you like, put them all together, and grab a little bit of something from that. And that's how people make something unique, right? They grab a little bit from all their influences, and they shape it into something that's theirs, right? And you'll never have something 100% completely unique that nobody has ever done, right? You'll always have a little bit of your influences everywhere, right? Luffy says, your style is your experience. The end product is always marked by your experience. Exactly. Exactly. Lum says, just finish it and ship it is one of my favorite phrases. I really had to live by that the last couple weeks. It was part of my frustration, right? Part of why I was like stressed out this week, because I've been working on a project that I'm not exactly happy with. I'm not exactly satisfied with. I was letting the perfectionism really like take over, right? I was just working on something that I wasn't really happy with. I wasn't really satisfied with. I'm gonna be honest, to this day, like even to now, even though I turned it in, I'm not like it's not my ideal work, right? But they can't all be masterpieces, and you really do just have to finish it and ship it at some point, right? So you can move on to the next thing, right? Because like the perfectionism is it really is like it really gets in the way, and at a certain point, like you're gonna overwork something, right? It's something that you learn to. It's like sometimes if you just spend too much time on something, you overwork it, and you overwork it until it becomes a mess, right? Until it becomes muddy and it becomes a mess, right? You really just kind of have to keep it simple, right? Don't they teach you that in school, to keep it simple, stupid? They teach you how to kiss, keep it simple, stupid, you know? Like that. I mean, it's true. It's true. It's true that you really like perfectionism is. I think a lot of us have the tendency to like find pride in being perfectionist, because perfectionism isn't always bad, right? It is good to have a standard of quality. It is good to have a standard for yourself, right? But you have to find a good balance, because it's very easy to let perfectionism go from something that allows you to polish your work into like the best that it can be. It's very easy for that to change into it'll never be good enough, and so you have to overwork it until it becomes a muddy mess, right? It's the best way I can kind of like put it into a physical example is like when you're painting on a canvas, right? When you're painting with actual paint, you have to really think about, for example, the colors that you're using, because if you just blend forever until you try and find the perfect color, your colors are gonna get muddied, your colors are gonna be ugly, everything's gonna be awful, there's gonna be a bunch of paint on the canvas, and it's gonna ruin it. It's gonna ruin it. At a certain point, there is a point where perfectionism will ruin your work. It's a hard lesson to learn, but it is one I think that you have to learn, right? You just kind of have to go on to the next one at a certain point, right? Like I said, it's not bad to seek that perfection. But I think the part that is bad is when you let it overtake everything, and then it muddies the original intention or the original image of what you wanted to make, right? Believe in the pursuit of the ideal as an artist. That's a little different from perfectionism, right? To push away perfectionism, like I said, it's both a good and a bad thing. You just have to find a good balance, right? It's good because you will push yourself to create something even better and better and better and better every time. But you really have to find a balance so that it doesn't ruin you, so that it doesn't fuck you over. Really, like like in the most basic words, like you just kind of have to make sure you don't fuck yourself over, right? In my case, I was redoing things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and I just was getting to a point where I wasn't satisfied. I wasn't satisfied with anything, right? And then when you work on something for too long, then you have the other factor of, like, for example, if you're drawing something, like those of you that draw, right? Like I'm sure you've had a moment where you've been working on something for so long and you're like, I'm fucking tired of looking at this picture. Like I am done looking at this. I do not want to look at this painting anymore. Like I've been staring at this thing for hours. I do not want to look at it. I'm sure it's the same thing when you're making music or when you're writing something. You're just like, I do not want to look at this. I do not want to, like, I'm tired of it, right? I definitely had that with the project I was working on. I was like, I do not want to look at this fucking thing for another minute, right? It gets like that. It definitely gets like that. It absolutely gets like that. Yeah. I'm getting it done and forgetting. Exactly. So that's kind of like what I really have to say about this mashu is that, like, I know I've like rambled on about it a lot, right? I really wanted to answer this on stream because I wanted to get out these feelings, right? Like, make it. I promise you I will love what you make, right? As long as you put it in front of me, right? I will see it. I check my art tags every single day. Every single day. I check the regular tag every single day. I check the Tubby Memes tag every single day. I check the Not Safe for Work tag every single day. I check all of them every single day, right? I check my marshmallows every single day. I try and look through the Discord every single day. Sometimes you guys get a little chatty in there, so sometimes if you put it in the Discord and like don't say anything to me about it, right? Then I might miss it. So if you want me to see something for sure, right? Like, you know, put it in front of me. Put it in front of me, right? If you want me to see it, put it in front of me. But I don't want you to be discouraged by that because overall, right? Overall, the greatest gift you could give me is for me to be able to see you enjoying making art. For me to be able to see you enjoying being creative. To see you, like, you know, just enjoying the process, enjoying art, right? That's kind of like my entire, like, mission, right? Kind of my entire mission of me being an artist themed VTuber, right? Is that I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to make art. I want to encourage you to be creative. I want to encourage you to do the stuff that you want to do, right? Those projects that you've always, you know, like how many... I'm sure a lot of you guys have like probably sat around and thought like, oh man, you know, like it'd be cool if I could make a game one day, or it'd be cool if I could learn this and do this one day, right? If I can push you a little and encourage you to like follow that and to really like, you know, see how fun and how awesome it can be to do those things, right? To express yourself with that kind of stuff, right? That's my mission. That's my mission, right? No matter what it may be, right? That's my mission. So it's always gonna make me really happy. It's always gonna make me really proud of you guys. It's always gonna make me super happy. Yeah. Sorry if this is a a little like this talk went on a little too long, right? You guys know me. I tend to repeat myself a lot because I never super sure if my thoughts have come across. So I'm the type that will kind of go in circles and repeat stuff sometimes until I feel satisfied that I got my thoughts across, right? So yeah. I hope the Tabemono that sent this, I hope you're listening. I hope you are hearing this talk, right? 'Cause I really do believe that, you know, like you should, if you can, you know, you don't have to. It's impossible to completely stop caring about what other people think about your art, right? But that's part of art, right? It'd be lying if I said that, like, oh, you know, don't stop thinking about what other people think about it. No, because it's art, right? We make art for it to be enjoyed by others just as much as we make it to be enjoyed by ourselves. But you cannot forget about making it for your own enjoyment too, right? Because it comes from you. Your art comes from your body, right? I hope it was a good talk. I hope it was a good talk. Oh my gosh, I talked a lot about that, huh? Oh. I'm a little embarrassed now at how much I blabbed. Hello? Am I back? Am I back? I don't know why my internet's been like this all day. I don't know why it's been like this all day. Sorry for all the connection issues. I don't know why it's been doing that. Yeah, refresh if you're not back. But yeah, that's how I felt about that Machu. I hope that was a good answer. I hope it didn't come off like too pretentious, too like, I don't know. Maybe I should stop doubting myself. Maybe I should stop doubting myself. Yeah. I shouldn't be doubting myself over this. But I hope it's a helpful talk. I hope it's a helpful talk for you guys. I hope it's good. I know we have a lot of creative tabemonos, and we have a lot of tabemonos that like aren't creative yet but want to be. Right? I want to encourage you to just like, I think when you do things for yourself, other people can notice, and it will resonate with them a lot more than you think, right? It'll resonate with them a lot more than you think. And I also want to remind you, right, that progress is not linear. It's not always a straight shot up. Sometimes you go down a little, sometimes you go up, sometimes you go down a little more, sometimes you go up. It's kind of a roller coaster, right? So you gotta remember that. You gotta remember that too. It's important to keep that kind of stuff in mind, right? Because they're like, especially when you're in the creative journey, there's so many times where like you struggle making something, or you make something and then you look at it and you're like, damn, this is dog shit. You know? I've had so many moments like that where like I'll work on something for so long and then I like step back and I look at it and I'm like, damn, this fucking sucks. But it's part of it, you know? It's just part of it. It goes up and down and up and down and up and down. It's just part of it, you know? You can't, you really just have to go through it. You really just have to go through it, right? It's healthy. It's healthy. You really just have to go through it. And you know, that's what you gotta go through. That's what you gotta go through. I look at code I wrote after I wake up the next day. I'm like, this sucks shit. Yeah, it's like I said, it's not just for drawing. It's for everything. Music, coding, writing, everything. You know, like everything. It's the natural process of creating something with your own two hands. Right? It's because we're human. It's just a part of being human. And you have to remember that. You gotta remember that. You gotta remember that you're human and that you have to be kind of patient and nice with yourself. Right? Right? The fear of making something that sucks and is not up to your standards is awful. I'm not gonna lie. I had a little melty about it like a couple months ago, right? Because there's a project I've been working on for a really long time, and I just haven't been happy with how it's coming out. Like, I think just from a fundamental level, things just didn't go the way I envisioned at all, right? And so it took a lot of time for me to like get over myself, right? Because I was just like, I'd be working on my stuff, and I would just be like, this fucking sucks. Like, I don't want to do this. This fucking sucks. Like, this isn't up to my standards. This is not something I want my name attached to, you know? Unfortunately, sometimes you just kind of have to keep going, right? I've learned that lesson a lot, especially working in a team, right? There are some things that I have made, right, under the name Mono that I'm really proud of and that I'm really happy about. But I'd be lying if I said that there aren't things under the name Mono Monet that I'm not satisfied by, you know? I remember I wasn't really... Nowadays I don't really mind, right? I think it's cute. But I wasn't really satisfied with my lore video at the time. It didn't really come across the way I originally planned. A lot of stuff around debut time for me, a lot of it either got lost in translation or got lost in communication. A lot of it didn't end up the way I planned, right? A lot of it didn't end up to my satisfaction, but it was a learning experience, right? To really, like, you know, I couldn't have learned any of those lessons without going through it, right? And it's a very tough lesson to kind of accept that sometimes not everything you make is going to be up to your standards completely, right? Especially when there's a lot of other people involved, right? All you can really do is your best. All you can really do is your best, right? I still have some anxieties about my project, right? I don't feel like it's gonna come out the way I want to. And that's just kind of something I gotta accept, right? It's just something I kind of just have to accept. And it's just part of it. This is part of it. It really is just part of it, you know? Really just be part of it. That's all I can really say. Yeah, so it goes. There will be more, right? There will be more. It's part of the experience, yeah? It's part of the experience. Look fondly when I bombed in front of an audience because of how much I've grown, and then cringe hard and think about it all night and get in my head. It's awesome. Not to say, since the debut is already set in stone, what was the original plan / feeling for it? Still in the 88. There's a lot of it that, like, I think would be too complicated to talk about, but one of the big things that you can probably see right in front of you is actually my background. My background assets, the rooftop here. This background was made, I think, like 2 days before debut. I originally had very different plans for some visuals in my background, but some plans fell through. Some stuff fell through. Some stuff got cancelled. Some stuff didn't work out. And so it was like last minute that we had to find an artist that would be willing to make a background basically overnight. Because it was literally like 2 days before debut, and I was like, I don't have a background. Like, it was 2 days before debut, and I was like, what do I use? I don't have a background. So it's the reason that the rooftop looks so barren, right? Because the compromise was like, all right, you know, draw me, like, surely the artist can do something like very, very blank, very like just blank slate. And I was like, I'll decorate it. I'll decorate the rest, right? It's still very plain around here. I haven't really had time to decorate much of anything. I have some stuff I'd like to add to the background. I have a hand-drawn signature from Bisco that she drew for me before she left that I want to put on the wall. It says Bisco was here. I've been wanting to put that on there for forever. Just haven't gone around to it. Right? I haven't gone around to it. But yeah, that's like it's crazy, right? There's definitely a lot of things that like didn't go exactly the way I wanted. Some things went better than how I planned, right? Some things went better than how I wanted them. But funny enough, originally, instead of the rooftop, originally it was gonna be like an attic room. Originally, I was going to move in to like an attic space in the school. A lot of this was before we even had a design for the V4Mirai Magic School, right? So it's some of this stuff is kind of messy in that regard, right? It's the reason why I don't really have a personalized background, you know? Because a lot of my stuff had to be done kind of like last minute. A lot of it kind of got like that. It's fine. I've gotten very attached to this rooftop background. I like it. It's very cute, right? But it's not really what I originally wanted. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Does it make sense? Some of the stuff, for example, my loading screen. I'm very happy with the animation for my loading screen. So ultimately, I like the way it came out. I actually kind of like the way it came out a little more than what I originally had planned. But like, for example, the idea is a little different than what I originally wanted, right? Some of you from the very, 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 very beginning might remember what my loading screen used to look like at the beginning. It had like some graphics on it. Those were never really quite what I wanted, which is why I started using the commercial backdrop, because I thought like, all right, I'm gonna make this a little bit more to my taste, right? I'm sure, and God bless all of the teachers and all of the staff, because I am sure, when it comes to visuals and when it comes to like artistic direction, oh, I'm sure I'm a little bit of a pain to work with, because I can be very picky and like perfectionist about like visuals and about like the art stuff, right? So here's my deep dogeza for the staff, right? I'm sure I can be a little bit of a pain, right? Yeah. But but it's very important to me, right? It's very important to me. I'm a visuals idol, right? Like, you know how like idols have like their stats? Like my stat is in the visuals. Right? It's in the visuals. Yeah, it's a really essential part of my presentation, exactly. Yeah. There's stuff like that, right? I'm sure all the other girls have stuff like that where like it just didn't work exactly how they planned. It's part of the journey, right? I'm not gonna dwell on it really much anymore because this is part of the journey. Right? It's part of the journey. It's hard to expect an entire team to understand what's going on in your mind, right? So through a lot of that, for example, I learned some of it was all my fault. Some of it was on me for not explaining exactly what my vision was. Some of it was, lost in translation. It's all different stuff, right? Yeah. No, it's the kind of stuff like that. Maybe one day I'll see if I can show like the storyboards because I storyboarded everything. I storyboarded my lore, storyboarded my animations. I like sketched out a lot of everything. A lot of my initial drafts for my design I sketched out myself, right? My hair, a lot of it was like my normal hairstyle with the twin tails down, right? That was all me. A lot of that stuff was all designed by me. Am I able to commission the backgrounds and things for the future? Yeah, I can can change all that stuff. I was thinking of maybe in the next couple months commissioning some new stuff, right? And just kind of like giving the channel a little bit of like an update, visuals wise. Same with the booty. That's all Kudo Papa. Kudo Papa is an ass man, I think. I think Kudo Papa's an ass man. I think that's why he gave me such a big booty. I think Kudo Papa, I can't blame him either, you know. Yeah, he's always giving his girls legs exactly. Kudo Papa's an ass man, right? He knows exactly what he likes, and that's why I'm very grateful. So I'm very, very grateful. Yeah. And that's about it for what I have to talk about right now. I really have to pee, so maybe we should wrap up stream here. I have to pee like crazy right now, so maybe we should wrap up here. I think this is a good little comfy Satsu stream. What color? Today the color is like white beige with lace. Another stream in the camera. Yeah, I just wanted to. I'm glad I got to talk about the stuff I wanted to talk about today. When I woke up, I saw that Mashu about the art, and I was like, I just knew. I wanted to talk about it a whole lot. So I'm glad I got to bring it up and talk in depth about it. Thanks for the Satsu. Thank you for coming. Thank you. There's a lot of other stuff on my mind, but I cannot think when I have to piss. Cannot think. So I'm gonna. Yeah, I have some work I have to focus on. I gotta finish my schedule. So yeah, Thursday expected to be Melty Blood with Yae. We're gonna figure out what time. Friday will be Resident Evil 4 with Mimi again. Saturday is I think it's already out. There's a collab with everybody on Saturday. And then Sunday, if I do a stream on Sunday, it'll be late. So we'll see. If there's a stream Sunday, it might be late. Or it might be like a short thing. I will have to see, because I gotta figure, like, when I go over to my sister's place, it's very likely that I'll be there like the majority of the day, right? So there's a chance that there might not be a stream that day. So that might have to be like a guerrilla day, depending on what time I get home and if I'm not super exhausted, right? Carving pumpkins, dude, that stuff takes so much energy. Did you guys ever see the pumpkin I carved last year? Oh, I wonder if I can find it. Hold on. I want to show you the pumpkin I carved last year. Let me see if I can find it. I worked very hard on my pumpkin last year. Yeah, I did it. I worked on it a little bit before debut, because debut was November 11th, right? Oh my god, that's coming up. Can I find it? Let's see. I don't see it. Well, I don't think I can find a picture of it, but I made a pumpkin of Jack Frost from Persona. The little hee-ho pumpkin. Cause I was playing Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne at the time. And so I was very into that at the time. So I made a little Jack Frost pumpkin. If I find a picture, I'll share it. But I don't remember where I put it. Don't remember where I left it. So yeah. Anyway, let's go see who's up for raiding. I think maybe this year I'll make a Tabemono pumpkin. That'd be cute. Oh, there's a lot of good stuff right now. Fuck. Lottie's playing a weird old game, Automatic. Poma's having her monetization. Oh, and Rhubarb and Reina are playing GeoGuessr. Fuck. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's a lot of good options. A lot of good options. Did I not share it? Sounds familiar. I think I might have shared it like a long time ago, but like Twitter only goes back so far. Right? I haven't rated Lottie in a while, so I feel like I should go raid Lottie. I'm gonna raid Lottie. However, it is Poma's monetization today, so make sure you go support her. Make sure you go hang out. She's doing very creative stuff. It's very cute. And you might get some cool stuff out of it. So make sure you go support her as well. And then Reina and Rhubarb are very funny, and GeoGuessr is very fun. So make sure you support him too. There's also Rem doing an ASMR right now. If you're in that kind of mood to get your ears cleaned by a cute British maid. Heads up, she's also live right now. Rhubar's been on that GeoGuessr great set. Rhubar's crazy! I love her. Alright, we're gonna go over to Lottie. Whoopia! Whoopia! So feel free to just go tell her whoopia! Whoopia! Lottie and Mono, yay! Alright, you guys, I will see you Thursday for multiplay. Yeah. Gosh, I feel like I want to spend more time together, but my brain is kind of like, it's kind of going so fast. I can't really think of anything right now. So I will talk to you guys later. I love you all. Oh, thanks for the great thoughts. Thank you. Thanks so much, girl. Thank you. Alright. See you guys later. Stay with me, everybody. On screen. On screen. Bye bye. Bye bye. On screen. Bye bye. Hold on. Mwah. 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 Oh, booty smooch. Bye. Right on the charm point. Right on the charm point. Oh, I totally forgot to talk about taking my cat to the vet. Sorry, that's kind of why I've been a little spaced out this weekend too. I took my cat to the vet yesterday. Oh, I totally forgot to talk about it. It's fine. It's fine. She okay? She... Turns out she's older than I thought. I thought she was like 13 years old. It turns out she's closer to 16. She lost a lot of weight and has a big lump on her head, so I was kind of worried. She's lost like a ton of weight. When I took her to the vet, it looks like she has some heart issues. I had to pay an astronomical amount of money yesterday, which did not feel good. Just a stupid amount of money yesterday. I had to take out of my savings. It fucking sucked. But you know, it's like, what can you do, right? It's for your little family, right? I'd rather pay that and, you know, make sure she's doing good, right? Oh, but it sucked. It sucked. Yeah, vets are really freaking expensive, you know. Anyway, yeah, that's the update on my cat. Looks like she has maybe some heart issues. They're doing blood work on her, you know, so it's hard to say. Thank you, Tasty. Thank you for the donation. Thank you. I appreciate it. And she'll be fine. She's chilling. I don't know where she's at right now. She's chilling. I don't know where she's at right now. She's chilling. But yeah, she'll be good. She'll be fine. It was a big part of the reason why I just needed just brain dead stuff this weekend. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. I love you all. Oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to keep hanging out. Alright, bye. Bye. Love you. Love you. I 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 love you. Bye. 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 I love you. Bye. 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 Bye.